The Amazing Spider-Man by Stan Lee and Steve Ditko is kind of difficult to read, at least in my opinion. Owning this omnibus, it's without a doubt an important piece of history, and there's so much in this book that I have a deep found appreciation for. I can talk about the fact that Steve Ditko's artwork is incredible to look at, but not only is it beautiful, that within the pages of this book, you can see the evolution of his art, and it's super spectacular to see how comic book storytelling evolved within the pages of these Spider-Man issues. I can talk about the fact that Stan Lee's Marvel method is revolutionary, and it gave artists so much more autonomy when it comes to narrative storytelling. And I could talk about the fact that Stan Lee's Silver Age storytelling gave us so many iconic characters that stand today as some of the most important people in Marvel comic history, but it doesn't change the fact that reading this book, there's a lot that takes me out of it. Stan Lee's word boxes and dialogue is so needlessly dense. It feels like a chore to read at times, and I think there is a lot of heart and campiness in this book, but the writing is still very dated. It doesn't captivate me in the same way that contemporary stories do, which is why I find it so strange when people recommend younger audiences to read this book, because I just don't think it's captivating. I love it, and I'm so intrigued by it, right? I love history. I love learning. And that's why I love this book, because I feel like I own a piece of history. And the more I read it and I study it and I analyze it, I feel like I have a deeper insight into the history of comic books. But I don't feel captivated by this book the same way I feel captivated by X-Men, right? Krakoa X-Men, by modern Spider-Man, by Jonathan Hickman's Spider-Man, by Brian Michael Bendis' Spider-Man. This book is so cool, but I just don't think it's like on par with any modern storytelling. And maybe you can't compare it to modern comics. Maybe that's not fair. But am I crazy, guys? I say this take and people get out my throat. I want to love this book, and I do have so much appreciation and love for it, but I am not enthralled by it the way I think a lot of other people are. I don't know, I'm crazy.